ain't marketable. I argue with you. I'm in the Maybach trying to find parking for two. Who? The guard of this bedroom, the weapon. You ain't seeing numbers, your career is on star 67. Your track list is crackless, I use it as an ash kit. Like hold up, yeah, flick your ashes on this whack shit.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. This is going to be a sample shopping episode sponsored by Decant Shop. DecantShop.com is the best place to get all different types of fragrances, niche fragrances, designer fragrances, discontinued fragrances, original formulations. If you could think of it, they have it really carefully curated. Not everything in the world is there, but what's there is good, it's quality, it's there for a reason. The prices are unbelievably cheap. The customer service is just off the hook. The speed of shipping is amazing as well, and you can save an extra 12% off your entire order by using my coupon code. That coupon code is MAX12, and again, that's going to get you 12% off your entire order. So we have 4 fragrances to look at today from DecantShop.com, 4 really interesting ones, and we're going to start off with one from the house of Kerosene. Now, you guys probably heard of Kerosene. Kerosene was a reviewer, a YouTube reviewer. Name was John Pegg. And, you know, I was a little disappointed because when I wanted to get a fragrance done and customized, I wanted to get one done from him. And I think the idea that I have, which I don't really want to talk about because I still might want to get it done. You know, he kind of poo-pooed it. He thought it was a little too out there. It was more of a conceptual fragrance, sort of the way that Maxed Out is, than a normal fragrance. But I thought that he would be the type of person to be able to turn that into something. And some of the notes were a little off kilter, like, you know, in Maxed Out, one of the notes is high class escorts and regret, and so there was something like that in this fragrance that I wanted, and he didn't want to do it. He acted a little put off, but so wasn't thrilled with that. But I still, you know, like looking at his fragrances, and I think it's really cool that a reviewer was able to start his own house. Now, to be honest with you, putting all that aside, I wasn't super impressed with the first fragrances that I smelled from this house, but I was impressed by Black Vines, and I was very happy to see Decant Shop add one from this collection, and this one is called Unknown Pleasures, and obviously Peg made this one, and the notes are very interesting here. We have Earl Grey tea, lemon, honey, bergamot, tonka, caramel, vanilla, and waffle cone. This one came out in 2013. If you're looking for these, you can grab them from Indie Scents or Min New York, where 100 ml goes for $140. So pretty good pricing on these fragrances. And I have to admit, this one is really interesting. I really get the Earl Grey tea. I get lemon, I get honey, I get some citrus, and I get a nice gourmand feel to this one. I get the sort of combination of caramel and vanilla. I don't know if I get waffle cone, but you definitely get a nice vanilla vibe underneath the Earl Grey tea with the honey and the lemon. It's really interesting. It's really well done. To me, it sort of smells like a cup of Earl Grey tea if you put some honey and milk in it. It's a really nice gourmand. It's sort of soft. It has a gray feel to it, and I just think it's really well done. I have to salute Kerosene for this one because I think it's nice, and I consider buying it. The next one we're going to look at is from the house of A Lab on Fire, and this one is called Made in Heaven, and the notes on this one are saffron, magnolia petals, Italian mandarin, jasmine sambac, tuberose, orange flower, cereal accord, orris, natural vanilla bean. We looked at one from this house on the series. It was called Liquid Night. It didn't impress me that much. The fragrance that really impressed me from this house is the one that I have a bottle of, which is Paris to LA. I reviewed that one. I loved it. It has the Coca-Cola and macaroon note in it. If you're interested in these, they're available at Lucky Scent and Twisted Lily. They all come in 60 ml bottles, and they're available for $120. That's the only size that these come in, and this one was done in 2014 by perfumer Pascal Guerlain. And the only thing I think of when I think of this is that cereal accord. I totally get it. To me, it smells a little bit like burnt rubber. It reminds me, this one, a little bit of Bulgari Black because it does have that rubber sort of vanilla vibe. It's really, really nice. You get the vanilla bean, you get a little bit of florals, and I just get that cereal accord, which to me smells like rubber. I think it's super interesting, and this one has immediately gone on my to buy list. I just love the way that Lab on Fire sort of makes these offbeat fragrances with these different sort of gourmand notes. And here I think they're just killing it with the cereal chord, with that natural vanilla bean, and just the light florals, magnolia petals, and the jasmine and the tuberose. This one's really interesting and it's really different. Now the next one we're going to look at is one that I'm very interested to look at from the house of Guerlain. This one is called Mon Abbot Rouge. And while I don't think there's going to be any difference between this and the original Abbot Rouge, which I love, I'm excited to take a look at it nonetheless. The one that I really want to try from the Abbot Rouge line is Low, which was named one of Base Note's top 500 modern fragrances. And I really want to get my nose on Dress Code, which is sort of Abbot Rouge, which came out last year, and it has a gourmand. I think there's like a hazelnut vanilla accord in that one. I love the original version of this set. I have a bottle. I promise to review it one day, but for me, this is the scent that made me fall in love with Guerlain. I love Rouge, but this one has a timeless elegance, and there's almost nothing wrong with it. Now, this version, Mon Abbot Rouge, came out in 2014 in a really nice, like all black matte bottle. Where you could put your initials on the bottle and personalize it. Now, note-wise, we're going to get orange, basil, bergamot, lemon, Brazilian rosewood, lime, and tangerine at the top. Middle notes are carnation, sandalwood, patchouli, cinnamon, jasmine, cedar, and rose. And in the base, we're going to get labdanum, leather, amber, benzoin, moss, and vanilla. Note breakdown is exactly the same as the original. You can get a 50 ml of Abbot Rouge online for like $25. That is a fantastic deal, and to me this one smells just like the original. It is just this super beautiful combination of citrus notes, the orange, the bergamot, the lemon, the lime, the tangerine, greenness of basil, sort of gourmand aspects. You're going to get cinnamon, you're going to get sandalwood, but then you're also going to get some leather and amber and benzoin. It is blended just on another level of masterful. No one does these sort of scents like Guerlain, these classic masculine fragrances like Vetiver and Heritage and Abbot Rouge. It's just so beautiful. You really need to get your nose on this. It's easily one of my top designer scents of all time. I don't think this version is any different. At least my nose really can't detect a difference, but still it's just such an amazing scent, and if you don't own it, you really need to. Alright guys, let's finish up this week with one from the house of Bond number 9. This one is called Astor Place. For those of you who don't really know what Astor Place is, it's really a really small area in New York where it's sort of where the Village sort of meets the East Village, sort of meets the Union Square area. There's a cube where goth kids meet up. There's a bunch of subway stations, and it's sort of a little bit west of St. Mark's Place, which is an area you can get bongs and tattoos and falafels, and it's sort of an alternate area. You get a lot of those kids who, wear all kinds of crazy makeup and those crazy baggy pants. You have all sorts of thrift shops. I actually got my first and only tattoo down on St. Mark's Place in the East Village, so it's sort of a really eclectic area. And Astor Place was done in 2009 by the perfume Laurent Laguernet, who has done quite a bit of work for Bond, including Queens, Madison Square Park, and Highline. Laurent Laguernet also did Paris, LA for A Lab on Fire, so we just talked about that one. And note-wise on Astor Place, we're going to get Mandarin and Violet at the top, Freesia, Poppy, and Orris in the middle, and Amber, Musk, and Teakwood in the base. You can get a 50 ml of this for about $100, so another discounted Bond scent out there. And I have to say the bottle on this one is beautiful. It's gold with this sort of mosaic of color, so a really nice bottle. Now for me, this one is just super feminine. I get I get a lot of florals in this one. I feel like I get some rose. Rose is not in the note breakdown. So maybe it's the mix of just all the florals, the freesia, the poppy, the violet. I get a little bit of orris, and there's definitely, like, it's very sweet. It's fruity. I don't understand, there's not really, I guess maybe the mandarin, but the notes sort of belie this one for me. I just get like a very fruity, rosy, very feminine springtime like scent. It's not really for me. I think it's too feminine. I think a lot of women might like this one though, because it is very natural, and the notes pop. I don't know if it's the most well blended Bod number 9 fragrance that I've ever smelled, but the quality is there. So guys, if I'm ranking these, without a doubt, Made in Heaven is number 1. That's going on my to buy. Well, actually, Abbott Rouge is number 1. That's just boom. But then we'll do Made in Heaven. Then we're going to do Unknown Pleasures. And then we're going to do Astor Place. Now, as far as my buying, I have Abbott Rouge, so I would not buy that one again. I will buy Made in Heaven. I might buy Unknown Pleasures. I definitely need to get my first Kerosene. There's a few that I'm looking at. Black Vines is probably going to be the first one that I get because I love licorice fragrances, but this is definitely on the list to look at. And then Astor Place is just not my steed. It's just not this sort of fragrance that I'm into. To me, it's a little too floral and fruity. So guys, we're gonna finish up this haul next week with 5 fragrances. We're gonna finish it up with 5. I know you guys like when we do that. We'll start with one from the house of DS and Derrida. I haven't really looked at that house on the show. We'll then go to the house of Frederic Malle and look at his newest release, Monsieur. We'll then go to the house of Atelier. We'll then go to the house of By Killian, so premium niche scents next week, guys. And then we'll finish it up with another one from the house of Bond number 9. Guys, please remember these videos are possible because you guys are going to Decant Shop using that coupon code MAX12, saving all of that money on all of your decants. Continue to do so. Decantshop.com, coupon code MAX12, best decant shop out there. Only Decant Shop I tell my friends and family to use. Guys, I'll see you this weekend with a video. You already know, my name is Maximilian.
This ain't that pill, homie, I will finish ya. Black suits, black cars, ho, I'm like